The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Dueling Comedians, where two comedians clash to see whose comedy kills and who gets killed.
Figuratively speaking, of course.
All this to determine who claims the coveted Dueling Comedians Trophy. This is Dueling Comedians.
Hello there, this is Tony V, and if you can hear my voice, you have about 10 seconds to stop listening to this if you don't want to hear the rest of what's going to come after I keep talking. So it's Dueling Comedians, and with me today, very excited about this. I always get excited about my shows, but I have with me who I consider one of the finest younger comedians coming along today in the Boston area, Mr. Mike Whitman.
Hi, Tony.
How are you, Mike?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Good atmosphere in here.
Yeah.
Thick. Cloudy.
Yeah. You got to get used to it. This is why this is like a home turf for me.
I mean, there's a residue on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You come out and you smell like you were at the cigar shop.
Anybody against you, you bring them here.
Yeah.
And you weaken their immune system.
Right.
And then you attack.
It's how I keep my advantage.
Yeah.
It's like
You're always sick.
Yeah. It's
Get them on your level.
My level, right.
Of unhealthy.
Right. When I'm not, doing anything other than smoking a cigar, that's what I'm doing is smoking a cigar.
You got to smoke a cigar, though, right?
So, yeah. So if I were going to prep anyone for coming on Dueling Comedians, I'd say start smoking.
I should have started smoking.
Yeah.
That's for the kids out there.
Yeah. Always start. And none of this pussy duel thing.
Wait until you're 14. Though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Get your working papers and then get a cigar.
That's it.
That
is the message I want to get in.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, so you know why you're here, Dueling Comedians?
You know what's interesting? I don't know why I'm here.
You don't know why?
No. I know why I'm physically here.
Right.
But when we agreed to it, I was so psyched because it was. I don't know if it was the initial planning. We were supposed to do each other's material that we liked.
Yes.
And I was so psyched to do the dolphin bit.
All right.
And I was
please feel free.
No, I don't even know. Like on the way, because I did my research in the car.
Right,
obviously 30 minutes.
I'll tell you this. What we'll do is let's get ourselves through this, provided
we can muscle through it.
We can muscle through it, and then we'll have you back another time, and we'll do each other's bits.
We could do it for hours,
forever, and I would get a kick out of that because I have said this to you privately, and I will say it now to anybody who's listening. For my money, you're one of the best comedians working in this area, and probably in the country. I love watching you work because of one thing that I enjoy in comedians personally, other than just the business end of it. I never know what the fuck is going to come out of your mouth.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
You know what? That's one of those things you got to unpack and find the compliment.
Yeah. No.
No. I get it.
Yeah. Right. But as a comedian, watching another comedian, like a guy starts a bit, and I go like, all right, I can see where this is going.
We know. We just don't know the actual punchline.
The actual punchline, but I know where he's heading with this.
Yeah.
With you, I go, I didn't see it coming. I don't know how that brain works. How it gets to that place.
That's horrifying to hear, though. I mean, like, it's point blank. It's honest. There's a compliment. I love it.
It is a compliment.
I love it. But that means I'm broken.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's not good.
No, for a comedian, it is. Look, there's something wrong with every one of us. Every single one. Even those of us who have, like, seemingly a normal life with, wives and kids. And
we look good.
And bills and shit like that. You know what I mean? Underneath, there's something wrong with people who, seek approval from people you wouldn't talk to otherwise.
You're right. But you know what? You bring it up. It's great because your superpower, I was thinking about it on the way, is your disposition towards life. Now, hear me out. You have that, you can't fire me, I already quit.
Yeah.
Which is powerful.
Yeah.
That means you're a loose cannon. Right? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and in my younger days, it was more so. I mean, let me say this.
That's a huge power.
Yeah, it is a huge power.
When you don't care.
I don't care.
Right.
And I simply don't. I mean, a lot of people pretend not to care.
But they care.
And it's all
it's a lesson to learn. I'm driving up, listening, doing my research, and I go, no, seriously. Do you imagine the power of being like, that didn't work out.
Right. I learned.
Instead, I'm sweating. You know, you're like,
yeah. Listen, I learned a long time ago that in the position we're in, find ourselves in a lot, the only real power you have is to say no.
Right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
huge, though.
It takes
huge. Years. I mean, I'm still doing. You're like, oh, what am I doing?
Right,
what am I doing? I'm just gonna hate myself.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Listen, there's plenty of people to hate.
Right.
To hate
your
you too.
Yeah. That's another smoke early, kids.
Yeah.
And find someone to hate.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, hate is a driver.
Right.
Is a
It's a
beautiful
good driver.
It's a beautiful driver.
We're doing mental health awareness here.
Right. Well, that's my background is mental health. So that helped me. I used to work in the mental health business.
You did. You were a social worker.
Yeah, I was a social worker, and that attitude, was fostered back then.
My lover of 7 years is a social worker.
You have a lover?
I have a lover.
You've taken a lover?
You can't say girlfriend anymore after 7 years. You have to, Mom, Dad, this is my lover.
Yeah.
It's got to be
because if it's not,
nice. It's got to be nice, right?
It's not.
But I always say, I go, you know what? A social worker is just a helper monkey. You know,
Yes.
You go in, you hug them, you go, I'm sorry. She doesn't like that joke.
Right.
She hates that joke. But you're right.
Yeah.
Social work. I'm just kidding, sweets.
Yeah.
She'll be one of the 8
Hey,
people.
you know what I've neglected to do? Have you talked to Laugh Track Larry, my sidekick?
Oh, Lair.
Hey.
I love that. I love it. He reminds me of that carpet. Remember the commercials, the carpet guy, that creepy, that voice, that's you could put everybody to sleep with that little.
I don't get the creepy.
Perfect.
See?
Right.
Yeah,
Just creepy.
that's exactly
Right?
what he means. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You wouldn't want him around the schools.
Right.
In a good way.
Right. Like, Larry, just do this to me. Would you say this phrase? Can I touch that?
Can I touch that?
Yeah, see, that's what he's getting at.
That's it.
See, that's
it's just
it.
that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Now that you mention it,
Right. We got it.
You can see it.
Yeah.
I can hear
Yeah.
it.
This is the perfect place for you, Lair.
Yeah. Sometimes, you don't get that quality from him because he's, in such high gear all the time that he sort of glosses over.
And he's on YouTube right now. He's not even.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't
He
know.
just
God bless
tunes
him.
in
That's what
every
you
now
say.
and again.
God bless him.
God bless everybody.
God bless him.
One of God's special children.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
The show has a little bit of everything for
That
everybody.
sounded creepy too.
Mike,
It is something.
how did you start your comedy career?
You know what? I always
was
feel
your
like a
trajectory?
fraud because I didn't grow up liking all the albums. I didn't.
Right.
I grew up liking every SNL comedy.
Right.
The movies.
Yeah.
Not even SNL. Just the movies. Spies Like Us. All these. Anything with Dan Aykroyd.
Right.
And I don't know why I liked it. And I think that's to go to back to your point. That's why I don't get the way everybody else does comedy.
Right.
And that's all right. Whatever.
Right.
To each their own.
Right.
But and I get why people look at me and are like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing upstairs? Like, I don't even understand what you're doing."
Right.
And I don't get what you're.
But it's like But when I watch you, you have a command of a room, but there's also a little awkwardness in you that makes it endearing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was talking to our Jimmy Dunn about this, and everybody has a rhythm.
Sure.
That does stand up. You know what I mean? Some guys are rock and roll. It's
Yep.
all, balls out. Yeah, how you doing? Let's hear it. For
Choppy.
Choppy
Choppy at best.
And then other
Yeah.
guys have, a little bit more of a, like a soft rock kind of a, hey, how you
Yep.
doing? Blah, blah, blah. Yours is like free-form jazz. You know what I mean? It's like.
I throw whatever I have
Yeah.
at the crowd. I throw.
Yeah.
And if my arm isn't working, try something else.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing.
Yeah, I'm reminded of a story I heard when you're doing the pop-up comedy club, Comedy on the Fly down in Florida.
Oh, my
And you
Lord.
asked the 85-year-old guy how much he benched.
Yes, it was. He looked good though. That was a legit question. There was, it was a lady. It was an 85-year-old lady in a wheelchair, and
In
you
a
know what?
wheelchair.
You know what? Out of the 18 people who did show up for that whole thing,
Yeah.
she was the best audience member.
Right.
I find older people, really, really old people, to be the best audience.
Yeah.
Like I can do all my funeral stuff. They love all that
Right.
weird stuff, and everybody else is horrified.
Right.
Like I said something racist.
Right. Right.
And they're just with it. They're like, yeah, we
Listen,
know.
I don't know how young people. I don't know what the future of comedy is going to be because young people, or younger people, are so touchy now about everything. They're just so ready to get pissed off or get their nose out of joint about.
Right. I said Santa Claus on stage in camp. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
And I hear, I'm like, I can't say Santa Claus. And I know nobody knows my material, but there is nothing out of me. There's a couple of people, like a couple of things that you're like, you get nervous, like where I'm treading, but nothing. I talk about Coinstar machines, and I can't talk about Santa Claus. And you're like, why did you do that? Because as soon as someone goes, it's just malignancy in the audience. And then you can't do anything. And then you talk about choppy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Keep going. We have a few minutes.
It's nothing. But I mean, you talk about choppy, it's just like you cannot get out of that hole. One person. Let's imagine what power.
They take offense at Santa Claus.
Right. What am I going to do with Santa Claus? Right. I didn't say anything. I didn't.
Just said
Christ
Santa
is
Claus.
born, everyone. I didn't. Right.
Yeah.
Nothing.
All right, we're going to go take a break, and then we will be back. Actually, we will sit here. You go do what you got to do.
Get some popcorn.
And then when you come back, we'll still be talking.
Yeah, you want to know what Lenny Clark has to say about Two Guys Smoke Shop?
Two guys smoke shops. They're the nicest guys. And I'll tell you, sometimes you go into a cigar store, you really don't know what you're looking for. It's very intimidating. And a lot of times people have a tendency to be arrogant with you, like they know it all. The guys up at the Two Guys Smoke Shop, if you're a first-time smoker or you're looking for a great, go in and see them. They'll put you at ease. They'll make you feel at home. They'll get you the best cigar you can get for the best deal. You can't beat it. And then whenever I'm in New Hampshire again, if I'm in high-speed police chase or something, I'll stop in and have a smoke with those two guys.
Why, thank you, Lenny Clark.
We're here at Dueling Comedians. Mike Whitman is with me. Laugh Track Larry. And in a few minutes, after you tell people how to get a hold of you and if they want to hire you or come see you, we'll get to all that. But just a reminder that you are vying for the coveted Dueling Comedians Trophy.
This would be my first actual credit.
Oh, wow.
So this is pretty big.
Well, you can.
This is huge.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
This is it.
Not to put pressure.
Then the heartbreak. But that's great for the heartbreak.
Yeah.
For the views.
Well,
think about.
Look at that.
Clickbait, baby.
Yeah, that's how this show works. We build you up, and then
take you down.
You don't know what's going to happen after that.
They got me drunk and on coke before.
Yeah, smoking.
I'll say whatever I want.
Blowing smoke in your face. So, how do people get a hold of you if they want to?
A self-addressed envelope, 43 Gordon Road. I really just have Instagram.
That's it?
It's Instagram, and you can do, it's just Mike Roy Whitman, and then
do you have a website
Twitter.
or anything like that?
No.
Wow.
I should.
You should.
Right. Jimmy Dunn yells at me all the time. Yeah.
Well, see, that's one step below me, which I have a website, but I haven't changed it in about 15 years.
Like the initial spiral, like the gimmicks and stuff like that? Yeah.
Like I think you have to do dial-up to get my web page.
I think it says you're at the ding ho next.
I honestly want to create my own and just make it that terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, make it just like you're saying, just like who created this?
Right. What?
I mean, do you need a website anymore?
I mean, no, I don't know. Yeah. I know
think
what you're
I did something. Believe me, when I tell you, 5 years ago, should have had a website. I think I just waited it out.
You waited it out.
Until on the outside being like, maybe I'm just cool.
Because people can type in anything and find stuff. Like I have people go, oh, we saw a clip of you on blah, blah, blah. And I go, all right, I don't know how that happened.
Everything wrong with this movie? Everything wrong with that movie?
Mike, I did that with the fax machine.
The fax machine?
Yeah.
You just waited it out?
It's pretty much gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Just lawyers.
If you live long enough, you avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
I can't wait, and it's probably only about 4 or 5 years away where we just think at each other. You know what I mean?
Like it picks up your brain waves?
Right. Like I go, I need to communicate with Mike Whitman, and then you go, hey, I'm right here, Tony.
Listen, how close, and your idea, how close are we to something like a chip? You know how diabetics have like a chip in them?
Yeah.
How close are we to everybody having that?
Oh, yeah.
And then something's wrong, like whatever is normal, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to pump you whatever you need.
into that.
We're very close, right?
Oh yeah,
Just constantly monitored.
They already have like a chip you can put like your credit card information and
Right,
stuff like
and
that,
they
and
insert
you
it
wave
in
your
your-
hand
right.
and your thumb or something.
Right,
Like that.
government policy. Oh, sorry.
All right, that means it's coming up to time for the duel, and you know how this works since you did your homework.
You bet.
I'm going to hit that button.
But I feel like I'm in school again. You bet. I did all my homework.
You have no
baby.
idea.
I did.
You have no
I
idea
know what I'm
what's
doing.
coming.
Well, we're not
Yeah.
doing the dolphin thing, so I'm protesting
All
this
right,
whole
go
thing.
ahead.
All right, what do I do? All right, you go first.
No, you go first.
Okay, we'll start off easy. Ultimate buzzkill at the end of the night at the bar. Someone says, "You're not driving, are you?" That's it. That's it.
You know, the whole thing with Robert Kraft,
Yes.
the thing I've been,
It'd be funny if I didn't.
if you didn't know.
What are we talking? Catch Me Up? When are they filming this?
What's all that about? Right. So he's officially charged with paying for sexual favors. That just says to me, you don't know what a favor is
Right.
if you're paying for it.
Yes.
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
Yes.
That he's so rich.
Yeah, the
that he's
favor
never-
isn't there.
Right, there's
Yeah.
no favor.
Isn't gentleman? Yeah, there's
really.
no.
Like if you went up to a woman and said, "Hey, do you mind giving
yeah,
me a little
something
for
little,
nothing?
Little,
Just
yeah.
do me a favor."
I mean, I held the
Then-
door for you.
Yeah, then we're fine.
Right, little favor. I like that one. Okay. So this one, I bring up how many documentaries I watch because I'm a genius, and this is it was people that outlived the diagnosis of 6 months to live. They did it. They beat the doctors by 5 years. They're healthy. And what I didn't find, what confused me was their tone and their like to the doctor. They're like, "He told me 6 months to live. Yeah, I'm still here." Like the doctor's not against you. You get my drift? Like it's not like the doctor is like at day 60 or whatever he gave you. It was like, "Damn it. Look at Carol. Healthy as all hell. Was she playing beach volleyball? My reputation." I'm going to do funeral stuff next.
That's good. You know, I think there's a thing, you know, you reminded me of that, where there's certain professions where you have confidentiality, like doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yep.
The doctor can't tell you anything about what's going on with a patient. Lawyers have it, right?
Yep.
You can't talk about what's going on with your client. Pharmacists, you can't tell any. I think they need to tell us. I think other people should have confidentiality.
Yes.
Like I want the guy behind the counter at the 7-Eleven or the Christie's
Yes.
to have confidentiality. I don't want a guy going, "Hey, you know, Tony was in here buying $2 scratch tickets with rolls of pennies." That's the
Right.
shit I don't want
Right.
people to know about.
You know how what is so wild about that in hospitals? This is how, like, you think doctors are so great. And so
Yeah.
in the elevator, they have to remind doctors and nurses with a sign saying, "Please do not speak about patients." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you're in an elevator. Right.
These doctors are such pieces of shit. They have to be reminded not to be like, "Tony, his bowels are wrong." That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. You go again.
All right, so if let's just transport ourselves. If I'm gonna make a mini series,
Yeah.
or if I'm gonna make any sort of film
Yeah.
about New Orleans, let's just say a document, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's say HBO series.
Yeah.
To upset and aggravate the viewer, I would incorporate no jazz. No jazz at all.
No jazz.
No jazz. So everything in New Orleans, no jazz. First bar, Jethro Tull. You know what I'm saying? Like things that John Denver, the West Virginia show. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, "Wait, is that Bruce Springsteen?" Right. And just get them like that. So that's what Tony means when you don't. It's not you don't know what I'm talking about. It's just I'm all over the place. ADHD or something.
And lawyers, I'm reminded of this. You ever see a sign outside of a lawyer's office? It'll say, Joe Smith, attorney at law.
Yes.
That's a little redundant, isn't
Right,
it?
right.
What else would you be an attorney at? Right.
You make it, yeah.
It would be Joe Smith, attorney at plumbing.
This is a serious thing. I can do it. No. I forget.
That was it, yeah.
Wait. The only thing I wanted to do was.
Go ahead.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Wait.
Go ahead.
This is the speaker thing.
Go ahead. Finish up.
So I'm in Florida. Jimmy Dunn is driving me around, and then he takes a phone call on the actual whatever. It's from Tony. The whole car could hear.
Oh yeah, you're on speakerphone.
You're right. So he has to do this. It's Tony calling through, and he goes, "Hey Tony, you're with Mike and Greg. You're on speakerphone." And that's what it occurred to me. I was like, why does he have to say you're on speakerphone? Like, what horribleness would Tony say about me if you didn't say you're on speakerphone? Right?
Yeah, you don't know.
And if he didn't say it, that Mike Whitman's such a piece of shit.
I can't believe you're driving around with that fuck.
I just wanted to win it. Extra points. Thanks for having me, Tony.
All right. All right. That was just that easy. We muscled through. We did it.
Some lung problems, but we're good.
Not for me.
We're good.
Well, watch this.
Look at that. I bet you if we put an O2 reader on your finger, you'd be good. 100%, baby.
Oh, sure,
way better.
Man. Are you kidding me?
Way better than fresh air.
This is where I live.
This is good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, everyone.
Larry?
Very suspenseful.
It is.
Yep.
I'm on the edge of my seat. In all my seat is
Holy smokes.
Coveted trophies at the line here, on the line.
The guy with the creepy voice says Tony wins.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Larry's more of a rock and roll guy than a jazz guy.
That's what it is.
That's all it boils
I get
down
it.
to.
You guys don't get me.
That's it.
Thank you, everyone.
I hope the world continues not to get you because it's one of the joys of my life watching you work.
Suffer. That's what it was. Thank you, Tony.
All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in to Dueling Comedians on the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe Network. Find us, like us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, stop me in the street, whatever you need. All right, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.